Real Madrid suddenly let go of Erling Haaland despite numerous rumors. So what happened? Just a few months ago, they were saying they wanted Haaland. Why is that? Financial issues might be a concern, but is that all? For regular fans, the primary goal is always for their team to win as many titles as possible. But in the eyes of owners like Florentino Perez, while titles are important, what matters most is that Real Madrid remains the #1 club in the world, even after he's no longer president. Speaking of financial situations, though, it may seem that investing in football isn't a wise decision. Even a club like Man United isn't hugely profitable. Man City has only recently started making profits, and many other clubs, despite being labeled as self-sufficient, still rely on their wealthy owners' pockets. Banks like JP Morgan Chase Bank or Goldman Sachs have indirectly invested in European football in recent years. Of course, investment fund managers at these banks can make mistakes, but they're not fools in distinguishing which industries are profitable and which are not. Football needs stories to develop and attract attention. In recent years, El Clasico's appeal has been declining. The El Clasico match on October 28, 2021, between Barcelona and Real Madrid attracted an average of over 500,000 viewers in the USA on beIN Sport and beIN Sport en Español. Despite Lionel Messi and Ronaldo not playing together for the first time in nearly a decade, the match at Camp Nou still attracted an average of 359 viewers on beIN Sport en Español and 181,000 viewers on beIN Sport English, totaling an average of 544,359 viewers. That average viewership has decreased significantly by 35% compared to the El Clasico match in December 2017, which had an average of 845,000 viewers. Of course, the prestige of El Clasico will stabilize in the future as the era of Ronaldo and Messi will pass. However, these so-called super classics are happening in an atmosphere lacking stars. A classic match where Lewandowski, at the age of 35, is the #1 striker between the two teams seems quite uncomfortable. In the context of the Premier League dominating other leagues in terms of TV broadcasting rights and media appeal, El Clasico needs a compelling story to bring back its super classic status. Perhaps there's no need to hide the fact that Mbappe is almost 90% likely to move to Real Madrid next summer, with the remaining 10% opposition maybe being a bit high. If compared to a Mbappe already set to arrive at Real, the connections between Haaland and Los Blancos still seem quite faint, but not non-existent. In the past few months, AS Mundo Deportivo and various other Spanish newspapers have all reported that Haaland could leave Man City to join Real Madrid, the club he reportedly dreams of joining. Of course, where there's no fire, there's no smoke. When asked by reporters about his future and whether it would be Real Madrid, Haaland replied, "Real Madrid? You never know what the future holds." It's a typical Mbappe-style response, but it might not necessarily be a good option at this moment. However, for a meticulous player like Erling Haaland, it might not be a slip of the tongue. Forbes revealed that Haaland has a release clause of $170 million with Man City, but this amount only applies to English clubs. If Haaland moves abroad, his release clause drops to $6 million according to Transfermarkt's valuation. The value of the former Dortmund forward is around $4 million, approximately $155 million. At present, Haaland's value is nearly double the $86 million to release clause, so if Real were to get Haaland, they would indeed have a bargain. With $86 million set in today's transfer market, they might only be able to acquire Victor Gyökeres. But why such a low fee? Assuming the information is accurate, if we look at Erling Haaland's past, all his moves have been meticulously calculated. Being the son of Alf-Inge Haaland, who understands the game so well, has helped him make the right decisions in life. A few years ago, young talent Haaland went from Molde to Red Bull Salzburg, not to big English clubs, although he could have easily done so. Even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer proposed Manchester United for Haaland. At Salzburg, Haaland shone, and England's big clubs took notice. Exclusive sources from Sun Sport revealed that the Red Devils were ready to spend $76 million to sign Haaland. Furthermore, after finalizing the purchase agreement, MU would loan Haaland back to RB Salzburg until the end of the 2019-2020 season, but that never materialized. Dortmund successfully signed Haaland for a very cheap price, only $20 million, equal to his buyout clause. Haaland continued to excel at Borussia Dortmund, and he arrived at Man City in the same fashion with a $60 million buyout fee. If Haaland continues this pattern to join Real Madrid, it wouldn't be surprising. In April of the previous season, Man City reportedly leaked negotiations with Haaland to waive this buyout clause, but it seems they haven't succeeded yet. This is enough to confirm that there is such a clause in Haaland's contract. The issue is we don't know the exact amount. Haaland and his father understand his value, which is why they chose a relatively cheap buyout clause compared to his actual value. All to ensure he's easily transferable to other clubs, thereby not interrupting his personal development. Certainly, Real Madrid isn't stingy to the point of not spending $86 million. The issue lies in whether they really need Haaland. First, from a commercial standpoint, the prospect of Haaland coming to Barca to face Mbappé at Real Madrid is much more appealing. La Liga would have a great story to advertise to the world. It would be a showdown between two of the biggest stars of the generation. However, if Haaland were to come to La Liga, specifically Real Madrid, a situation akin to Alexis Sanchez's move to Manchester United might occur. Haaland would come with a cheap transfer fee, but his wages would be high. Mbappe's arrival on a free transfer would also lead to exorbitant wages. At this point, Vinicius' salary is already close to $400,000 per week. Let's put aside Real Madrid's wage structure because they're managing that quite well. But having too many superstars with such high wages isn't a good idea. If Haaland comes to Real, he would obviously play as the center forward, while the left-wing position would likely be Mbappe's. Because even though he's been moving wider this season, Mbappé still tends to drift to the left wing to receive the ball before entering the opponent's penalty area. This is a trend shared with Vinicius. If it's just Mbappé alone, everything could be easily arranged, but adding Haaland to the mix complicates things. In the case of using both Mbappé and Haaland, Vinicius may be sold. This shouldn't happen at all because Vinny has played very well and has been more effective than the aforementioned two names. He's also beloved by Real Madrid fans for his contributions over the years. Besides Vinicius, another player who might have to sacrifice is Rodrigo. Real Madrid shouldn't worry about selling the Brazilian international because there are plenty of teams lining up to buy him. However, watching Rodrigo play excellently on the left wing in recent matches, if he were to leave, Real Madrid might regret it. Real Madrid could also consider using the Mbappé-Haaland striker pair, but that could potentially lead to internal division within the team. In Man City, they have experienced players like Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, so Haaland could adapt to Man City's pace. But what if there are no pillars like that? Many times at Man City, the Norwegian forward has expressed his desire for his teammates to play faster. Haaland will demand his teammates to play at his pace, as he did at Dortmund. So if Mbappé also has something called his pace, Mbappé is only 2 years older than Haaland, and the French striker can't be considered Haaland's senior. Not to mention playing as a striker pair often requires one sacrifice and one shine. If buying Haaland means making him sacrifice, like how Benzema did with Ronaldo, then it's too ruthless. Haaland at Man City is still a work in progress, but if he moves to Real, he'll take the spotlight. That's a mandatory thing, and Haaland's ego could lead to conflicts with Mbappe's very high ego. With these reasons alone, it's enough for Real Madrid not to be too interested in Haaland as before.